Good afternoon. Justice Raymond Zondo says the Commission's report will be credible without testimony from the Guptas, and he doesn't expect them to come to the country anytime soon. At a briefing, which is still ongoing, he also says that former President Jacob Zuma must appear before the Commission because there are critical questions that he has to answer. The Commission is expected to finish its work in March, but may need an extra 3 months. Watching that briefing has been Lawson Naidoo from the Council for the Advancement of the South African Constitution. Lawson, good afternoon to you. Let's get straight to his words on Jacob Zuma, saying that some witnesses, the answers that they gave, required President Zuma to, or former President Zuma, to reply to them. I think he used the word alleged role on certain transactions, and if nothing else, he was also named in the terms of reference, and he was very resolute about that.
Indeed, and it's quite clear from the terms of reference and the fact that Mr. Zuma has been implicated by several witnesses. I think at the last count it was 34 witnesses that had implicated the former president. So it is essential that Mr. Zuma does come forward and answer the questions that the Commission has for him. It's quite clear that he's a central figure in state capture, and he needs to appear and respond.
There were three important points that he made coming out of what will be the future of this Commission. One, if we're going to make a dent on corruption in South Africa, better dispensation for whistleblowers. They need proper protection. Does Parliament have sufficient oversight mechanisms to hold executives to account? And what are the loose ends that need to be tied up when it comes to tenders? All of this we know, but it was important that it was reiterated.
Well, indeed. And in fact, Jeremy, CASAC has made a written submission to the Deputy Chief Justice that traverses all of those grounds. It's our submission focused on parliamentary oversight and weaknesses in that system. And we also highlighted the need for a comprehensive anti-corruption architecture to be put in place so that state capture cannot happen again. So I'm certainly very pleased that the Deputy Chief Justice has highlighted those particular aspects of the work that he has to do, and in terms of the recommendations that he's going to be making regarding institutional changes that need to be put into effect to ensure that we have a more robust framework to combat corruption and state capture in the future.
His commission has not abandoned calling more members of the executive to come forward, he noted, but disappointed he was. The suggestion was more should have offered.
Well, yes, but, on the other hand, the Commission could have made requests or issued summonses to those current and former members of the executive to come forward and give evidence. So it is disappointing that more of them have not done so. But as the Deputy Chief Justice said, some of them may be called and others may be asked to provide the Commission with affidavits regarding what they knew or did not know about various aspects of state capture, particularly within those departments of government over which they where they were located during the state capture era.
Is he right, Lawson Naidoo, when he says the Guptas not coming back to South Africa, and there's not a prayer of that happening, is there, that the no-show will not impact on the credibility of the Commission?
Well, I think what the Deputy Chief Justice has sought to do here was to say that they've got more than sufficient evidence. He highlighted the testimony, for example, a few weeks ago of Paul Halden, who spoke about the flows of money across borders, international flows of money, money laundering and so on, which implicates a number of Gupta-related entities. And the Deputy Chief Justice appears to be saying that on the basis of that evidence and other evidence that is before the Commission, that he is in a position to make findings regarding the involvement of the Gupta brothers and Gupta companies in state capture itself. So, it's quite clear, I think, that the Guptas have no intention of cooperating with the Commission and certainly no intention of returning to South Africa anytime soon.
Just a final question to you, Lawson Naidoo. This briefing was rich in numbers, wasn't it? 1 billion gigabytes of corruption data has been gathered, but so far confirming, Judge Zondo saying that the Commission has cost 800 million rand so far, but he also referenced the return on investment, if I can put it that way, given that McKinsey, for instance, the consultants, are going to pay back 650 50 million, I think he said, in terms of Eskom and Transnet.
Yes, I mean, it is a significant figure when you look at the cost associated with the State Capture Commission, 800 billion rand and counting. But yes, we've got to look at it in the context of, is it money well spent? And ultimately, it's the report that will determine whether that has been money well spent, whether they're able to make significant findings on the key matters under their purview, whether the recommendations ultimately get implemented by the state. I think this was a very refreshing briefing by the Deputy Chief Justice, because he's really taken the nation into his confidence, which unfortunately they had not done previously, to go into this much detail about the status of their work and where they are. And it is pleasing to have noticed that in terms of state-owned entities, most of the testimony has been heard. There are a few loose strands to be picked up, but it seems that they will be able to make meaningful findings and recommendations in relation to what has now become called the public protector issues, which really relate to state-owned companies and the former President Zuma.
Always appreciate your crisp analysis. Lawson Naidoo from the Council for the Advancement of the South African Constitution. This is Monday lunchtime.